Good morning, YouTube. This is Opa with the Oma and Opa Lifestyle Channel. This morning we're going to feed our African greys, and I'm going to show you what they eat. I'm going to also make some homemade country gravy. I'll show you how I make the gravy. It may be different than the way that you make it, but it's mighty good. So I'm going to get started here in just a second. So the birds get a wide variety of food. This is some chop that we like to give them. Now they don't eat all of this. They'll pick through it, eat what they want. Kind of helps them with their foraging. They
You gotta move that over. You can't see it.
It's okay. This is what I'm putting in there.
Can't see that either.
They like all kinds of beans and peas. In the summertime when the garden's going, we'll give them peas straight out of the garden. They really love them. But these are snow peas from Walmart. So we give them a little bit of apple and a little bit of squash. Now that can also be a sweet potato. Sometimes we substitute that. This is the squash, summer squash. Like I said, that or sweet potato, it changes. We will typically give them a grape. One of them likes grapes and oranges, and one of them doesn't really care. Piece of broccoli. When pomegranates are in season, Gray, the female, she loves pomegranates. Mr. Button, the male, he don't really care for it. We'll give Mr. Button a little chunk, which he still won't eat it. Give Gray more than he gets. This morning,
A boiled egg?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna scramble some
Okay.
eggs. So this is kind of what their food bowl is going to look like. They have seed already in the cage. This will be their fruits and veggies, and I'm fixing to scramble some cheesy eggs, and I'll add just a little bit of cheesy egg in there, maybe a little piece of biscuit with some gravy on it, because they like that too. So I am going to go ahead and feed our dogs, or get started. The dogs, the same thing. We're making our own dog food. Gisela's making the dog food. They love it.
I make it out of either chicken or beef. And I will make a video to show you how that is made.
So give them each a little portion. And then I'm going to add the cheesy eggs and the biscuit and gravy to it here just in a little bit after I put that. But this will get us started. Alright, I got the oven set to 350 degrees. These are store-bought biscuits from Walmart. They're pretty good. We can make homemade biscuits, but they're not any better than those. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven, start a timer for 14 minutes. And while that's going on, we will make our gravy. So, the gravy that I make is going to have bacon grease in it. That's the way I like it. There is some happy balance on the bacon grease. Not enough bacon grease, you won't get a thick enough gravy. And too much bacon grease, you're just making a bunch of gravy that's probably going to get thrown away. So that's about a little more than a tablespoon there, maybe a tablespoon and a half is what I put in. So I'm going to melt that. I'm going to add enough flour to absorb that grease. And then from there, if you were going to make brown gravy, you'd keep browning that flour. But we're not making brown gravy, we're going to make white gravy. And we're just going to get it absorbed, then we'll add our milk and salt and pepper. And that's really how simple it is. I've done the gravy, I'll do our eggs, or I might start that at the same time. Now when I make scrambled eggs, I use butter. That's about what is there, 6 tablespoons or 6 teaspoons stick of butter. That's about 2 teaspoons, or I don't know. Here's how much butter that is. I know that it's enough to cook these 6 eggs. I'm going to go ahead and get that melting. Get this grease hot. I don't want to get it too hot, so I'm going to get it going, then I'll lower the temperature, but I don't want to burn the flour. That's gray in the background. You know, the birds pick up on your subtle little habits, and I guess I have this habit of doing that, just kind of mumbling to yourself. You don't even know you're doing it, but she picks up on it. That's what that last sound was. Okay. She knows I'm in here cooking, so that's why she says, "Are you hungry?" She knows it's breakfast time. So like I said, I want to put enough flour in there to absorb the bacon grease. Burn it. Looking pretty good. Now, I like milk. You can use half and half. Get a thicker, richer gravy. But milk does just as good. Now with white gravy or brown gravy, you have to pay attention to your stirring. Turn that down for the eggs. It starts out a little lumpy, but I'm going to get a little whisk, and I'll knock those lumps right out of there. you want to get your lumps broke up, and as the milk starts heating, you want to get it back to just about a boil. You're wiping around the edge and off the bottom, and it'll start thickening up. And it really does not take very long. So to me, the secret to good gravy is you just have to be here paying attention to it. I'm going to go ahead and salt it. I'll also add a little black pepper. I prefer fresh ground. Graves trying her Jingle Bells. Everybody around here likes cheesy eggs, so that's what we're having this morning. Gravy's looking good. I'm having a little problem there sloshing it out, but I'll clean that up afterwards. Salt and pepper and the eggs. Alright, I'm going to stop on the gravy right there and turn the fire off. It's thick enough to suit me. And while it sits here for 4 or 5 minutes, it'll get thicker. So we're going to let that sit right there. And I'm going to focus on my eggs. Sometimes we'll make an omelet. I like mushrooms and onion and cheese. That's really good. Sometimes we'll just fry eggs. Have toast, but this morning I was thinking some gravy would be good, and some of the younger viewers might not know how to make gravy. Gravy's pretty easy. My mother taught me how to cook when I was young. She'd say, "Robert, come in here, I want to show you something." And I would go in there and I'd say, "What do you want?" She'd say, "I want to teach you how to do this." And I said, "Well, I don't want to know." Whole thing. Yep. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give the dogs a little bit of the cheesy eggs.
Yeah.
This has to cool down before they'll actually get it. But they like their eggs as much as we do. I give the birds a little bit, not much, just a little bit. They like eggs too. Sometimes they get a boiled egg. Alright. Well, on the breakfast video, I'm not quite sure what happened. I thought I might have not started the record on the camera. However, I did. And I got most of the first section recorded. I hadn't put the cheese on the eggs yet. I was telling you a story about my mother. My mother always wanted to teach you something. So she'd say, come in here and I'm going to show you something. Of course, 15, 16 years old, I didn't want to learn anything. And I'd say, what do you want to show me? She said, well, I'm going to show you how to make this gravy. And I said, I don't need to make the gravy. You're making it for me. She said, no, someday you're going to want to know how to make gravy, and you might have a wife that don't know how to do it. So I'm going to show you how. So that's how I learned how to do some simple things like iron and make gravy, pop popcorn, things like that. But so the next part of the video, also it cut off. So it might be a battery issue. I've put new batteries in. Hopefully that's going to solve the problem. So the video is not complete, but it's complete enough that I'm going to go ahead and process it and put it on YouTube. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you learn how to make white gravy. And thank you for your time.